In 1992, a 62-year-old actor many had written off as a relic of the 70s returned to the genre that made him famous and turned it inside out. He didn't just make a Western, he buried it. And from its ashes rose Unforgiven, a film that won 4 Academy Awards, redefined a legend's legacy, and forced America to confront the myth it had built around violence, heroism, and the Old West. This is the story of Clint Eastwood's masterpiece. By the late 1980s, Clint Eastwood was Hollywood royalty, but also seen as a man out of time. His spaghetti westerns and Dirty Harry had defined an era of tough, silent justice. But the world had moved on. Yet Eastwood had carried a script for over a decade, one that haunted him. Written by David Webb Peoples, Blade Runner, it was called The William Money Killings, later renamed Unforgiven. It wasn't a hero's tale. It was a confession. Eastwood waited to make it, not until he was old enough to understand regret. "I wanted to play a man who'd done terrible things," he said, and was trying and failing to be good. Filmed in Alberta, Canada, in the summer of 1991, Unforgiven was made on a modest $30 million budget, modest for a star of Eastwood's caliber. He directed, produced, and starred, and he cast against type Morgan Freeman as Ned Logan, a retired outlaw seeking peace; Gene Hackman as Little Bill Daggett, a sheriff who believed order justified cruelty; and James Woolvet as the Schofield Kid, a boy playing at being a killer. Eastwood shot with natural light, minimal takes, no grand speeches, just silence, rain, and the weight of choices. He told his crew, "This isn't about glory, it's about consequence. She was a beautiful woman, and she hated what I was." Unforgiven opens not with a duel, but with a crime. 2 cowboys slash a prostitute's face. The town shrugs. But the women take justice into their own hands, offering a bounty. And that's when the killers come crawling out of the mud. Eastwood stripped the Western of its romance. No white hats. No noble gunfights. Just scared men, broken promises, and blood that never washes off. As critic Roger Ebert wrote, Unforgiven is about the cost of killing, not the thrill. When Unforgiven premiered in August 1992, critics hailed it as a masterpiece, but few expected it to dominate the Oscars. Yet in March 1993, it won Best Picture, Best Director for Eastwood, Best Supporting Actor for Hackman, and Best Film Editing. Eastwood, the man once dismissed as just a cowboy, stood on Hollywood's biggest stage and thanked Sergio Leone, the Italian director who gave him his start. But the real victory, Unforgiven, changed cinema. It paved the way for morally complex films like No Country for Old Men, The Revenant, even Logan. And for Eastwood, it proved he wasn't just a star. He was an artist. Today, in an age of superhero myths and digital spectacle, Unforgiven feels more relevant than ever. It asks, what do we glorify? Who do we call a hero? And what happens when the legend meets the truth? Eastwood, now 95, has said Unforgiven was his final Western. Not because he ran out of stories, but because this one said it all. Clint Eastwood didn't just make a great film. He gave us a mirror, and in that reflection we see not cowboys or outlaws, but ourselves. If you were moved by this story, hit like, subscribe, and ring the bell for more deep dives from Buzz of Legends. Because legends aren't just remembered, they're understood.